Say good morning. This is Rudran from Justum 40's Law Studies. Today we are going to talk about very important social problems. The topic is illicit drugs and its criminal consequences. Every country's primary goal is to protect the rights of the citizen and healthy living of citizen actually. See, since long time, even today, every country struggles to combat the prohibition circulation of illicit drugs. Illicit drugs. The term illicit drugs, what we are referring is actually the drugs which is prohibited by law. It is very potential abuse in nature, and it has been used for the recreational purpose, and it is very harmful effect for the individual, and it is very harmful to the society at large actually. See, according to Article 47 of Indian Constitution, the state has an obligation to protect the rights of the citizen. It says that state encourages to restrain the usage of intoxicated substances like alcohol or drug except for the medicinal purpose actually. When we talk about illicit drugs, the illicit drugs, the term has been used by international treaty under various conventions and conferences. The illicit drugs, it is specified in the international treaty which is held in the New York Single Convention 1961 and the Vienna's Convention on Psychotropic Substances and the 1988's United Nations Conventions against illicit drug trafficking of narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances. See, the term, when we talk about narcotic drugs or psychotropic substances, it means, it is specified as per the international treaty in the various schedules actually. We must remember the important narcotic drugs are opium. It is a derivatives of morphine, codeine, thiamine, and heroin. Okay. And cannabis, it's a genus of cannabis plant. It comprises of cannabis sativa, cannabis indica, cannabis rudalis. That is actually marijuana. That is ganja. It is actually a dried flower of marijuana, dried flower. Another thing is cocaine. So cocaine is it is derived from erythroxylum coca. It is a very active psychoactive component present actually. So when we talk about psychotropic substances actually, so we must remember that amphetamine, methamphetamine, lysergic diethylamine, that is LSD, and even methaqualone. So these all mentioned in the schedules of international treaty actually. So these international treaties actually cooperate with every country to combat these illicit drugs worldwide actually. See, what is the reason to prevent these illicit drugs? Why it is needed to prohibit or prevent these illicit drugs? See, in the world, across all the country worldwide, the major causes of the heinous crime or any kind of brutal crime, it is and largely because of these illicit drugs, either directly or indirect way actually. So like brutal murder, brutal rape, or it can be brutal chain snatching which leads to homicides, or it can be any kind of assassination. The illicit drugs contributes in majorly. So not only it affects our particular society, it becomes a big threat for the nation. Like transnational organized crime. It can be human trafficking. It can be like kidnapping. It can be the mafia's operated smuggling, or it can be any kind of terrorism or narco terrorism actually. So so it becomes a big threat to every nation. So it becomes a nation's threat because of these illicit drugs. And these drugs are trafficking through the borders of international borders of every country. So it becomes very challenging task to every country to prohibit these illicit drugs. See, now we'll try to understand the motive behind this drug trafficking or illicit drugs actually. So for the individual, if anybody is, like consuming these illicit drugs, they are consuming primarily because of addictive in nature, for anxiety, or maybe it may be a depression, they take these drugs actually. If you are talking about the motive behind these drug traffickers or the group of mafias, they make very big unaccounted money because of these illicit drugs actually. So because of these, large big money actually, they make terrorism, that is money for terrorism or terrorism for money actually. So they facilitates for the terrorism or they facilitate for narco terrorism. Actually, these terrorist group actually that disturbs the peace of the country, and these mafia groups they disturbs the stability of the economy of the country. So that way, the motive behind the mafia groups, against illicit drugs actually. So now we'll try to understand what are the health consequences which affects because of the illicit drugs. See, because of the illicit drug, the some of the life-threatening, issues are coming. It can be, through addiction. It can be through, depression, or the life-threatening. It may be, like it increases heartbeat, thereby heart attack, or it can be, heart failure, and some kind of respiratory issues also coming, like bronchiolitis or asthmatic issues or neurological disorders like stroke also, it comes because of the illicit drugs. See, now we'll try to understand the historical origin of these illicit drugs actually. See, before 1000 years back, or even sometimes 3500 year BCs, the opium has been cultivated in the place called Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia. See, this historically they were using these illicit drugs for either for spiritual ways, or it can be recreational purposes, or it can be used as a medicinal purpose also they have used actually. So the ancient period, even 1000 years back, Atharva Veda, it is mentioned that cannabis has been used as a one among the five holy plant along with the neem and jasmine. So cannabis has been established in the textbook of Atharva Veda, which has been used for the spiritual purpose and even for the like medicinal purpose also they have used actually. So during medieval period actually, these illicit drugs, it can be a opium, it is been used by the Germanians or Romans actually, or the warriors during the war period. They used to use opium. It becomes a very powerful pain relieving agent actually. So during that all the wars actually they were using for like pain, like fearless battle, they were using these kind of narcotic and psychotropic substances. See, in the modern trend, if you see, the highest producer of cannabis is Morocco, that is North Africa, where they produce the largest or highest producer of cannabis, followed by Mexico. And when it comes to opium, that is heroin, that traditionally the highest producer is Afghanistan. But recently, the Myanmar is the highest producer of the heroin or opium, as per the United Nations report. Worldwide, the approximately 25% of the production of heroin, which is comes from the Myanmar actually. And when it comes to illegal opium, 90% of illegal opium, which is comes from the Afghanistan. So now we will see cocaine. The largest producer of cocaine in the world is actually uh, Colombia and Peru. Colombia and Peru. So they are the largest producer of cocaine. See, based upon these historical producers, it can be like a cultivator or manufacturer or producer actually. The concept of golden triangle and golden crescent has been evolved actually. See, the golden triangle, it's a region which comprises of uh, Thailand, Laos, and Myanmar. These three places comprises the golden triangle actually. And the golden crescent region, which is comprises of Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Iran actually. So these both the golden triangle and the golden crescent are the both are the one among the largest producer of opium in the world. Opium in the world. See, India has become sandwich in between golden triangle and golden crescent actually. See, because of these places, these golden triangle and crescent, there are huge drug trafficking which is happening in India in the border state of Rajasthan, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, and even Jammu Kashmir. Jammu Kashmir. See, in the golden triangle actually, there's seven sister states like Assam, Mizoram, Sikkim, Nagaland, and Manipur. Mizoram, they are all very potent area for illicit drug trafficking which is happening actually. So even our Union Minister Mr. Amit Shah has quoted that this area, it is not a golden triangle or it's a golden crescent actually. It is a death triangle and a death crescent. So this is actually a deadliest drug region in the Asia actually. So now we'll try to understand the what is exactly narcotic drugs. Narcotic drugs. and even psychotropic substances actually. See, when we talk about narcotic drugs, the three important botanical name we must remember, that is papaver, somnifer, one, that is actually a opium. Another is cannabis genus. It can be a cannabis indica, it can be cannabis sativa, or it can be cannabis rudalis. So another is cocaine, that is erythroxylum coca. These three important plant which has both narcotic drugs derivatives and psychotropic substances or psychoactive substances derivatives actually. So these actually produced, either in the form of natural form, or it can be semi-synthetic form, or it can be also synthetic form. See, natural narcotics directly, it may be like opium poppy, opium straw, or directly opium. It is a dried form or the resins of the flowering part. These all extracts directly the morphine actually extracted actually. And when it comes to semi synthetic narcotics actually, if you see, this actually the natural compound which is chemically modified, and the derivatives which is formed, which is called semi-synthetic. Example, heroin. Heroin actually directly it's a derivative of morphine actually. It is chemically modified. It brought actually, it has very powerful potent effect for the pain relieving agent and the relaxing agent. So another is synthetic form. Synthetic, when it comes to synthetic form, fentanyl is a very potent synthetic opioid used as a powerful pain relieving agent actually. See, this is actually chemically man-made substances that is mimic the effect of natural opioids. So example, tramadol and fentanyl, it is actually even uh, tramadol is one of the very powerful pain relieving agent and also used as an anesthetic agent. And methadone is one more agent actually, which helps to treat opioid addiction, and pentadine. So this is actually the synthetic narcotic drugs. We'll try to come to understand about psychotropic drugs actually. The psychotropic substances are formed in the plant, or it can be formed in the fungus that affect the mood, perception, behavior, and consciousness. So example, psilocybin, which is naturally procured, psychoactive compound actually. Psilocybin. Otherwise, we can call it as a magic mushroom also. Magic mushroom. So it has a property of hallucination property. It can alter the mood perception. And another thing is actually cannabis. Cannabis has a very potent psychoactive substances called tetrahydrocannabinoids, or CBD. CBD is also cannabinoid. Actually, one more another compound which is very potent stimulant. It produces actually euphoric effect. That is hallucination. Actually, euphoric. It kind of ecstasy. They feel extreme happy in the mood. Actually, it becomes very sometimes it becomes very abusive in nature. Actually, so now we'll try to come to semi-synthetic psychotropic substances. Again, it is actually naturally derived. It is chemically changed, modified to produce some kind of same natural effect, like MDMA, that is ecstasy, methyl diethyl methamphetamine actually, methamphetamine. And the semi-synthetic substances, it is actually derived from saffrol. It is a natural compound. It is a precursor chemical composition which is derived actually. The another example is LSD, lysergic acid diethylamide is one among the semi-synthetic psychotropic substances actually. It is a very powerful agent for the mood, perception, consciousness, and behavior. It is very high risk, potential abuse in nature. Actually, it's semi-synthetic drug. Now we'll try to see synthetic psychotropic substances. It is again chemically man-made substances. It is actually created in the industries. It is very powerful. It is more than powerful than natural or semi-synthetic psychotropic drug. Example: amphetamines and penicillin, designer benzodiazepine. These are the examples. Synthetic psychotropic substance. These all very used as a both anesthetic and sedative in nature, and hypnotic in nature. It induces a sleep, and it also some agent acts as a depressants. See, psychotropic substances can be classified in four ways actually. One, it can be a stimulant. That is example, cocaine, caffeine. It is actually very powerful stimulant actually. Another is a depressant. it makes a person to be very much relaxed, depressed, and it becomes more addictive in nature actually. Another is actually barbiturates, and barbiturates one among the stimulant actually. Another is hallucination. Okay, it makes a person to be very uh, pleasure, or sometimes you will have a lot of cognitive disorder actually. So these are the general properties of psychotropic substances. So as we have discussed everything, both narcotic and psychotropic substances and the serious ill effect because of the illicit drugs. So, based upon these substance actually, based upon the international treaty, so the international conventions actually, want to combat the prohibition of these illicit drugs and illicit drug trafficking actually. So now we'll try to understand how these narcotic drugs or psychotropic drugs works in the body. See, before understanding how it works actually, see in our body there are opioid receptor which is found in the brain and spinal cord, gastrointestinal area, and the immune system. These narcotic drugs, it can be heroin, or it can be morphine, it can be any narcotic opioids. See, it binds with the opioid receptor. After binding the receptor, it suppresses the pain relieving receptor. Thereby, it mimics and it suppresses the pain relief by blocking the signals. Thereby, it reduces the pain directly. Actually, it also helps in making relaxing. Thereby, it actually influences for the sedative in nature or hypnotic in nature. Actually, see, when it comes to psychotropic substances actually, it alters the brain chemistry. Psychotropic substances actually directly acts at the central nervous system. Actually, it makes them, it activates the neurotransmitter signals. Thereby, it increases dopamine, it increases serotonin, it increases norepinephrine. Thereby, they feel, extreme happy, they feel extreme in mood, that is euphoric, they feel extreme hallucination actually. So in that condition, they becomes very aggressive and they becomes very violent actually. So when they take about LSD, or it can be methamphetamine, or the designer drug actually, or even cocaine, it becomes a very powerful stimulant. See, in that case actually, these people, they lose cognitive condition. They are not knowing exactly what kind of consequence it is going to happen for the any criminal offenses which is being committed, for the offender and also even for the victim side. So they are least bothered about the consequences of the different crimes. So because of these reasons, they commit all the brutal crimes. It can be contract killing, or it can be terrorism, or it can be brutal rape, murder, or any high level heinous crimes committed because of using these kind of illicit drugs. It can be a narcotic drugs, or it can be psychotropic drugs, and they are also part of the transnational organized crime actually. So now we will try to understand. See, after using all these drugs, the individual, they becomes addict. They become anxiety, and many health issues which is keep on coming. It can be heart attack. It can be heart failure. It can be like respiratory issues. It can be neurological disorder, these things. So, to combat all those issues, it becomes a very social issue. So, all the treaties, or even all conventions actually, to combat all those issues actually. So, they want to come out. See now, based upon this actually, so India has ratified, based on the international treaty, that is Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act in 1985, followed by uh, Prevention of Illicit Drug Trafficking of Narcotic Psychotropic Substances Act in 1988 actually. See, this NDPS Act, which falls under Ministry of Finance, the department under Department of Revenue, Ministry of Finance is falls actually. Though Narcotic Control Bureau, which falls under the enforcement agency, which is under the Ministry of Home Affairs actually. So they have enacted a law called Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985. The main aim of this NDPS Act is to prohibit or regulate and make stringent law against these narcotic and psychotropic substances. See, this NDPS Act comprises of 6 chapters with that 83 sections and the 3 schedules, which is specifically narcotic drugs and psychotropic substance 1985 rules. The rules they have specified the schedule actually. The schedule actually they have mentioned schedule 1. It is strictly prohibited, which cannot be used. It is very much potential abuse in nature. And schedule 2 it has some kind of medicinal benefit with a lot of restrictions. And schedule 3 also can be used with some medicinal purpose with reasonable restrictions actually. So, see, now we'll try to understand if anybody violates or contravenes with respect to narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances 1985, they are punished with a very serious punishment, the rigorous imprisonment. The punishment is based upon the quantity which is being abused or used, or quantity, like for small quantity or intermediate quantity or commercial quantity. For a small quantity, the punishment varies from the rigorous imprisonment of up to 6 months, along with that 10,000 fine. And for intermediate quantity, the punishment varies up to 10 years of rigorous imprisonment along with the 1 lakh rupees of fine. And for commercial quantity, the punishment varies up to 20 years with the fine of 2 lakh rupees. See, as per the section 31A, it says that even death penalty can also be imposed for the repeated offenders, repeated harboring offenders, repeated offenders, offenders of especially commercial quantity. And also life imprisonment also imposed as per the section 31A. See, if you see the section between the section 15 to 40, it all talks about different punishment. It can be the cultivation, production, possession, sales, or it can be anything. The punishment is there actually. So we'll try to understand some important case laws with respect to the narcotic and psychotropic substances actually. So some case laws which you want to discuss here, it is uh, that is Kuldeep Singh versus Union of India 2004 case. That is actually coca leaf case, where Kuldeep Singh was charged and arrested due to illegal possession of coca leaf under NDPS Act. See, coca leaf considered as a controlled substance and potential use in the producing cocaine as per the NDPS Act, which is prohibited by the law. The even possession of coca leaf itself, it's a criminal offences. It does not require to prove the intention of making it cocaine. So it has been charged under section 9A, 25A and 29. Supreme Court has imposed the punishment of rigorous imprisonment for 10 years and fine up to 1 lakh rupees. The another case is the Gurudev Singh versus State of Punjab in 2021 case, where Supreme Court has emphasized the poverty or being sole family earner cannot mitigate the punishment under NDPS Act. So considering the harm to society. So since it is a very very dangerous like act, so it harms very large society actually. So Supreme Court has imposed the punishment of 15 years rigorous imprisonment along with 2 lakh rupees penalty. See, when it comes to another case of Madan Lal versus State of Himachal Pradesh, Madan Lal and other actually transporting charas in a Maruti Esteem car. The police received a secret information and stopped the car, found 320 grams of charas in a bag. The court awarded 10 years of rigorous imprisonment and 1 lakh rupees of fine for the every person who were contributed. So even the driver Majid Singh also equally liable as a part of charas transport. So Supreme Court upheld the decision of lower court and followed the procedures as per the section 42 and 50. The rigorous imprisonment of 10 years has been given and 1 lakh rupees punishment also given. So when it comes to another case, Noor Aga versus State of Punjab. Actually, Noor Aga is a citizen of Afghanistan who has been arrested in Rajahsansi airport for illegally carrying 1.5 kilo of heroin concealed in a carton of grapes, where it is said that the court said they held that the burden of proof usually lies on the prosecution, but here actually the burden of proof actually reversed to the suspected offender actually. So under narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances, the burden of proof generally lies with the suspected offender. So, but in the criminal justice system, the burden of proof always with the lies with the prosecution. The prosecution, which is need to prove the guilt, the beyond the reasonable doubt actually. So, in this Noor Agha case actually, it exceeded the commercial quantity of 250 gram. So, he has been punished with the 10 years of rigorous imprisonment and 1 lakh rupees of fine. So, what we just wanted to understand based upon this NDPS Act, the punishment which is given is very rigorous actually. So, the we wanted to conclude that according to this social issue, these kind of social issues actually. So, nobody should take these kind of drugs. This narcotic control bureau members actually brought up many campaign that is stop drugs or say no to drugs or even war against drug. So these are the campaigns will educate everyone and make them to awareness about the consequences of the drugs, so that let us all work drug free society, healthy living and healthy society can be followed. So and another thing is actually worldwide International Anti-Drug Day, which is celebrated on 26th June of every year. So I hope you understand the concept of the illicit drug and its criminal consequences. So right from we have understand what is narcotic drugs, what is psychotropic substances, how it works, how it damages the health, and also we have seen narcotic drugs international conventions, and also the Indian NDPS Act. Everything widely we have covered actually. Hope you understand. Thank you very much. See you all again. Thank you.